Hey there, how's it going? Great to see you. If you haven't been here before, my name's Tim, and on this channel we do a whole pile of film, camera, geeky, lens, technology kind of stuff. So you're in the right place. Today we're going to be looking at a new LED camera light that I've got. It's this thing here. It's the RB9 RGB LED light, camera light from WEEYLITE. You'll have noticed that I've opened up a few lights from these guys before, but as is the usual story, this one's got something a little bit different about it that we'll get into later in the video. But for now, let's just get this thing open, see what's in the box, and I'll show you how it works. So here we go. Get the lid off here. As usual, it's one of these nice slow drop down lids that goes like that. Okay. On the box here, it gives you a bit of an overview of what it can do. It's got the white light as you'd expect, and multicolor light, as well as some of the effects lights that you see on a lot of these sorts of things. In here we've got the light sitting on top of the box straight away. Pull that out. As you can see, it's got an array of the color and white LEDs in here. There's two whites. Of course, there's a yellowy white and a blue white, and they mix between them, so you can get from 2500 to 8500 Kelvin on the white. And then there's the RGB lights in here as well, which do all sorts of colors, basically any color you want, and a whole pile of effects. On the back here is the usual control panel that we get, and some switches for control down the side. On the top here is the on-off switch, and on the bottom we have got a USB-C that you can use for charging, as well as a 1/4 inch thread here for mounting, and a side mounted 1/4 inch thread as well, which is really useful if you want to hang this off the side of something or mount it up vertically. Okay, let's start by just turning this thing on so you can have a quick look at the basic setup in here. So you've got the brightness, which is just blasting out at 100% at the moment. You can see what that does, and this is just in the CCT mode. I can change the color temperature very easily just by hitting the set button. So I go to the color temperature setting, and I can increase that all the way up to that very blue 8500 Kelvin, and all the way down to 2500, which is, as you can see, is a very yellow light. I like to stick around the 56 Kelvin, 5600 Kelvin, there we go, which is a nice daylight white. If I hit the mode button now, it's going to take me to the HSL, where I can have basically any color I want out of this. So I'll just hit the set button, so it'll take me to the degrees. HSL is hue, saturation, and intensity. So if I just change the color angle here, as you can see, it cycles right through the entire color palette, all the way back around into the blues again, and I can come back and change the saturation of that and the lightness of that as well, so that we can get a full range of colors. So that's a pretty cool light. There we go, back into the blues. If I hit this mode button again, it takes us to the RGBW settings. Now, as you can see here, it's got RGBW white yellow. So the W for white is the blue light, and yellow is the yellowy white. So you can get a mixture of all of those LEDs in here. So if I just hit set, go to the red or the blue, the greens come up, so we'll use that one. So you can see I can increase the intensity on the green. If I cycle that down a little bit, I can add the blue into there, and that will give us our more sort of tealy colors. So just increasing each of the different LED intensities as we go. The white you can run up as well, and the red, if I can run that one up and go more into the purples and then through the more intense reds, and each of them is just from 0 to 100. So you can see how that works. If I hit mode one more time, it starts taking me to the scene settings, and I can just cycle through the different types of scenes, change the speed and change the intensity of it. This is the lightning one at fast, then it takes me through to a police kind of thing. This is a movie scene kind of thing that you might put onto somebody, so that if you were shooting somebody watching a movie, you can have just the color cycling through a little bit, so it actually looks like they're watching a film. It's the kind of color that you get off a movie screen. And there's about a dozen different settings you can have in here. So there's flame, color, glass, there's grassy colors, there's all sorts of things that you might want to use for different effects and scene lights. That's pretty standard across all this type of light anyway, so it's the thing that we're used to seeing. Now, so far that's all fairly ordinary stuff with this type of light, but this one does have something very cool that's quite different. See, I can bring my phone in here and search for the WEEYLITE app, and I can just open this app up here. I'll just move that out of our way and turn that around, and with this app I can manipulate the phone. So I can change the light power and make that dim down and brighter. I can change the white balance as I'm in the CCT mode, as you can see up the top here. There are also some preset white balances that you can choose in here and change your own custom white balance if you want to and have that one recorded. Under the HSI mode, I can just come all the way around this color wheel and choose any color I want. The further I move out, the greater the saturation. So if I come right around the edge of it, I'm going to get the brightest, most saturated colors. The further I come into the center, the more subtle colors I'm going to get coming up. And of course the intensity by that moving that slider along there. So that's the HSI mode. In the scene mode that I've got here, it's got all of these things in here. There's 20 of them all up, plus some more that you can scroll down to. There you go, there's 29 of them. And you can set specific colors in here. There's effects like the aurora effect, a surf effect, grassland effect, movie scape. There's a TV one as well somewhere in here. Where did I see that? There we go. There's TV effect in here. So, and you can change the speed at which these work as well. If you're going to use this type of light for effect, by the way, you might want to consider getting more than one of them, say 2, 3, 4 of them, and you can run them at different speeds and out of sync so that it doesn't look like the light is looping, because it can tend to do that if you use it for a period of time. Viewers might notice that it's the same repeat pattern over and over again. Now you can control more than just one light on here as well. You'll have noticed up here I've got this channel thing, and it lets you choose between one of 19 channels, and you can set each light to respond to a different channel. As well as the channel, you've got these 6 different scenes in here as well. So you could have 6 different lights on channel 2 or 12 lights and have them all set up to respond to different scenes. So you've got A, B, C, D, E, F, and all the lights on A will do this, and if you got another light on B, then that would react differently. Now you can set this on the light itself just by holding in the mode button, that's the M button, and then here you can set the channel and the group. So that's where you do that. Then hold that in again to turn that off. Once again, to power the thing off, just hit the slide button on the top and it's done. So that's the light itself. Let's have a look in the rest of the box and see what comes with it, because there's some pretty cool stuff in here as well. Let's start at the top of the packaging. There's the usual quick instruction book and stuff like that there. I won't go through that because we basically covered it all. And in here there's the little warranty card that you always get with these things also. Underneath that top tray we start looking into some pretty cool stuff. There's a little bag here to keep the thing in and keep it safe and stop it from getting dinged up. And there's also another bag in here that's got other goodies in it. So I'll just unceremoniously rip that open. And in here we've got a mini tripod, which is great. So if you want to mount that and put it on the desk or something, there's the thing for doing that. I'll just put that over here. There's also a USB A to C cable, which you're going to need for charging it up. And in the bag here is a cold shoe adapter, so that if you want to, you can use this to screw into the bottom of the light and then put it on top of a camera and a cold shoe. The other thing in here is this neat little thing, which took me a little moment to work out. It's actually a cell phone holder, so if you wanted to use that, you could hook this up with the phone as well and put the tripod underneath it, the cold shoe mount adapter on the top, and you can have the tripod, phone holder and the light as a setup for vlogging, which is pretty cool. The other thing that's in here is this, which is a particularly neat piece of silicon, and what you can do with that is put the light in the silicon and it sits into the back of the silicon, not all the way into the front. That's a mistake I first made. There's a groove that flops around there and it sits in there quite nicely, and that provides a really nice softbox for this. So I'll just turn that on again, and as you can see, that softens up the light very nicely. I'll just change that back through to the HSI and brighten it up, and you can see that that is quite a nice soft light. So I'll go CCT and 5600 Kelvin, and you can see what the light is like there. It's relatively soft, and if I take this off again, then you can see that the light is rather harsh in comparison. So all of that stuff in there, from the tripod to the phone mount and the cold shoe adapter and the little softbox that goes over it, makes this a really neat set for the price. If you want to see how much it is, you can click on the link down below and it will show it to you in your local currency and where to get this thing from. I do highly recommend that if you're looking for a camera light, this is one of the best ones to get, especially with the phone control, which is something that's usually reserved for the much more expensive lights. One of the great things with this type of light is that you can get half a dozen of them very easily to pack away in a camera bag to carry around for a mobile photography set. And when you get to your location, you can set these up and you can manipulate by the brightnesses and the hue and everything of the different lights separately from where you are taking the photo. So you can do it from the camera without having to go and stand behind the lights and constantly move back and forth. So you can get the light right and observe it at the point where you're working by using the app on the phone. That's a really powerful tool and can save you a whole heap of time. So you just set the lights up around the space that you're taking a photo in, and you can stand with the camera and see what the end effect of the light is without having to constantly be going back and forth. That's a really powerful thing to have, and why lights with the app and being able to control them remotely is really important if you're using this type of light professionally. Now, if you've got any questions about this, please do leave them in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on more videos that are coming, and also watch this video and this video because YouTube picked them just for you because they know the kind of thing you like. And I'll see you in another video very soon. Have a great day.